Be me, 26 years old, working at high-end consulting firm. Tailored suits, glass office, $8 coffees, parents proud. LinkedIn profile looks like a success story, except I'm dead inside. Wake up every day with a pit in my stomach. Meetings blur together. Everything is synergy and deliverables. Dreamed of doing something that mattered. Ended up shoveling corporate bullshit for 6 figures. Can't quit. Golden handcuffs real. Student loans, expectations, the illusion of prestige. Everyone thinks I'm living the dream. Truth is, I barely sleep anymore. Weekends spent drunk or staring at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong. One night, stuck working late. Boss demands a deck by morning. Miss last train home. End up wandering city streets at 1 a.m. Find this shitty all-night diner glowing like a cheap lighthouse. Place is practically empty. Greasy smell, cracked booths, flickering neon sign. Collapse into corner booth. That's when I see her. Waitress maybe early 20s, messy ponytail, tired eyes, tattoos peeking out from sleeves, moving between tables like she owns the place. Orders short, sharp, no fake smiles. But there's something alive about her. Real in a way nothing in my life feels anymore. She brings me burnt coffee without asking. Rough night? I laugh. First real laugh in months. You have no idea. She just nods. Like, yeah, maybe she does. Start coming back. First once a week, then twice, then basically whenever work feels like too much, so constantly. She always there. Same apron, same chipped nail polish, same no bullshit attitude. Talks to me when it's slow. Nothing fancy, just real conversations. Music, bad TV shows, stories about stupid customers. Start telling her about my life. Not the LinkedIn version, the real one. The burnout, the fear, the quiet desperation. She listens. Really listens, like what I'm saying matters. One night, I ask her why she's still working there, why she's not moving up. She shrugs. I like it. I see the sky during the day. I clock out and leave work at work. I have time to paint, to live. Painting, she shows me pictures on her cracked phone. Portraits, landscapes, weird abstract stuff. Beautiful. Raw, more soul in one of her canvases than my entire career. Start questioning everything. Why am I killing myself for people who wouldn't notice if I disappeared? Why am I trading my time, my life, for suits and title bumps? 1 month later, hand in my notice. Boss doesn't even try to stop me. I'm just another replaceable cog to him. Use savings to rent cheap apartment near the diner. Get basic web design gigs. Work half as much, earn half as much. Feel twice as alive. See her every night. Sometimes just a coffee, sometimes just a smile across the room. Sometimes hours of conversation about nothing and everything. One night, walk her home after shift. First time she lets me, standing outside her building. Awkward, uncertain. She leans in, kisses me quick, taste of cheap coffee and wild hope. You're not broken, she whispers against my lips. You were just planted in the wrong soil. Couple weeks after quitting corporate hell. Weird feeling, like stepping off a treadmill that never really stopped. World is quieter, sometimes too quiet. But for the first time in years, the quiet isn't scary. Spend mornings working freelance gigs, afternoons wandering city streets. Evenings usually end up at the diner. Olivia, yeah, that's her name, still there. Still serving burnt coffee and smirking at my dumb jokes. One night she slides into the booth across from me after her shift. Steals a fry off my plate like it's no big deal. You look less miserable lately, she says. Maybe you're finally detoxing from all that corporate poison. Laugh and tell her about my first real freelance project. Small-time website for a bike shop. Barely enough to cover rent, but it's mine. She grins. Told you. Life's better when you actually get to live it. Easy for her to say. She seems so fearless. Ask her why she never chased bigger dreams. Art school, galleries, whatever. Shrugs. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I won't. Not everyone needs a 5-year plan, dude. Sometimes it's enough to just wake up and not hate yourself. Simple. But hits harder than any motivational speech I've ever heard. Start seeing her outside the diner too. Grab coffee at shitty hole-in-the-wall cafes. Watch bad movies in her tiny apartment full of half-finished canvases and mismatched furniture. We don't talk about future. We just exist. And honestly, existing never felt so good. One rainy night, we're walking home. She's spinning around like an idiot in the rain, arms wide, laughing so hard she almost slips on the sidewalk. "You're supposed to join me," she shouts, not stand there like a constipated accountant. Something in me breaks loose, run into the rain with her, soaked through in seconds. But it's the freest I've ever felt. We end up under some tiny awning, shivering, laughing. She looks up at me, hair plastered to her face, eyes bright like city lights reflecting in puddles. And for a second, just a second, I think about kissing her. But I don't. Not yet. Something in the way she's looking at me says not tonight. Later that night, lying in bed, can't sleep, thinking about her, about how life used to feel like a race I was losing. And now, with her, it feels more like a long walk somewhere good, somewhere I actually chose. Few months deep into new life, freelance work trickling in, nothing fancy, but rent's paid. Fridge has food. Still a few moments when I panic at 3 a.m., thinking maybe I threw everything away. But it's quieter now, manageable. Olivia becomes more than just the girl at the diner, starts showing up with coffee at my place, starts leaving tiny sketches on napkins tucked into my jacket pocket. Once she doodled a stupid cartoon of me drowning in paperwork. Caption, "You chose this, nerd." Still stuck it to my fridge like a goddamn trophy. We're not official, no labels, no pressure, but sometimes she falls asleep on my couch, curled up like a cat, paint still on her fingers, and I realize, without even noticing, she's woven herself into my life. One evening, walking back from the market, she's carrying a bag of discount vegetables like it's gold, chatting about a stupid customer who tried to pay in Canadian dollars, laughing, all normal, then out of nowhere. She goes quiet. "Hey," she says, voice weirdly serious. "Do you ever regret it? Leaving your old life? Stop walking, rain threatening to start again. Think about it. Sometimes I'm scared, I admit. But no regrets." She nods. Long pause, then whispers. "Good. I would have hated being the reason you stayed miserable." Realize she's scared too. Scared I'll wake up one day. Decide I want the shiny life back. The perfect suits. The high-rise office. The version of me she doesn't fit into. Don't think, just act. Grab her hand, pull her closer, kiss her. Not tentative, not questioning, just real. She freezes for half a heartbeat, then kisses back like she's been holding her breath for months. Later, in her messy apartment, lying tangled together under a cheap blanket, she murmurs half asleep, "Don't ever go back to the old you, okay?" Kiss her forehead, whisper, "Not a chance." Life actually feels good for once. Small gigs piling up. Olivia getting more art commissions. Our nights together turning into something steady. Still no official talk. No, what are we conversations. Just two people orbiting closer and closer. Until, one night, small, stupid fight. Starts because I'm late picking her up after her shift. Work call ran over. Simple misunderstanding. But she's standing outside in the cold for 20 minutes. Arms crossed, tapping her foot when I pull up. She slides into the passenger seat, slams door harder than necessary. Silent drive home. You could cut the tension with a plastic knife. Get to her place. I think it's over, but she just sits there, arms folded, staring out the window. "You said you wouldn't become like them," she mutters, low, sharp. "Like who?" Playing dumb, even though I know. "Them." Waves hand vaguely. "The people who forget. The people who choose work over life." Feel gut punch. Instant defensive mode. It was one call, Olivia. One meeting. Yeah, sure. And next time, next 10 times. It's not like that. It never is, until it is. We end up yelling, saying dumb shit we don't mean. Her accusing me of slipping back into the old me accusing her of being unrealistic. Not everyone can just paint their feelings and call it a day. Stupid. So stupid. She looks at me, eyes shining, not with anger, with hurt. "Maybe I was wrong about you," she says quietly. Gets out of the car, walks inside without looking back. Sit in my car for a long time, engine off, listening to the rain tapping on the roof. Feel like the old life, the one I thought I left behind, Just reached out and grabbed my ankle again. Next morning, send her a text. Simple. I'm sorry, can we talk? Wait hours. No answer. Go to the diner. She's not there. Someone else covering her shift. 2 days of silence. Realize something terrifying. If I don't figure this out, I'm going to lose the first real thing that ever felt like mine. Show up at her apartment, heart hammering. Rain again because, of course, it's raining. She opens the door, looks tired, worn out, but lets me in without a word. Sit awkwardly on her sagging couch. Take deep breath. You were right, I say. I was scared. I got a taste of the old adrenaline, the validation, and I forgot. Even if just for a second. But I don't want that life back, Olivia. Not if it means losing you. She stares at me, silent, then quietly. I'm scared too, you know? Of what? Of believing in something that could break me. Pause. Of building a life with someone who will leave when a shinier life comes along. Move closer. Take her hand. Cold fingers wrap around mine. Then let's build something that isn't shiny, I say. Something messy and stubborn and real. She laughs through tears, nods. That night. We don't fix everything. Not magically, not completely. But we start, slow, honest, choosing each other again, and again, and again. Few months after that night, relationship different now. Not perfect, not fairy tale, but real. Still have fights, still have doubts. But now we talk, we stay, we fight for it. Work getting steadier. Small website gigs turning into bigger ones. Even land a contract with a local business. Not glamorous, but steady. Pays the bills and then some. Olivia's still working at the diner, still painting, but commission's growing too. One night we're lying on her floor, sketchbooks and empty pizza boxes scattered everywhere, talking about dreams, the kind you're afraid to say out loud because they seem too big, she confesses. Sometimes I imagine a little studio, not fancy, just a room full of sunlight and messy canvases, maybe a tiny coffee machine in the corner. Laugh and say, "What about a desk for me?" She grins. "Only if you make the coffee." Deal. Spend weeks searching, checking Craigslist and sketchy ads. Everything either a rat-infested closet or outrageously expensive. Then one day, stumble across it. Tiny brick building. Used to be a tailor shop. Dusty cracked windows, peeling paint. But cheap. And more importantly, ours. Spend weekends fixing it up. Scraping floors, painting walls, installing secondhand shelves for her canvases, setting up a tiny desk for my laptop. Olivia finds an ancient espresso machine at a thrift store, fixes it herself because of course she does. First day after it's done, we sit on the floor, backs against the wall, 2 mugs of questionably brewed coffee between us. Sunlight pouring through the windows, paint on her jeans, dust in my hair. She leans her head on my shoulder. "We built this," she whispers. "We did, brick by brick, mistake by mistake, hug by hug, kiss by kiss." First art show happens 6 months later. Small gallery, half the people there are friends, the other half randoms attracted by the free wine. But doesn't matter. Seeing her standing in front of her work, beaming, eyes shining with pride and terror, makes my heart hurt in the best way. After the show, back at our little studio, she pulls me close, whispers, "Thank you for believing in me. Tell her the truth. You taught me how. Life still isn't shiny, still have bad days, late rent, slow projects, nights when doubt creeps in like mold under the door. But now, there's someone to fight it with, someone who reminds me, we didn't come this far to give up now. Be me, now 28. Olivia, 26, still in our tiny studio, still drinking bad coffee, still laughing at dumb jokes no one else would find funny. Business isn't booming, but it's breathing, and that's enough. I take on freelance gigs for small businesses and artists now, help design logos, websites, social media. Olivia's paintings started getting real attention, sold a couple to local cafes, one even made it into a bigger gallery downtown, one random afternoon, while restocking her canvases. I get an idea, not flashy, not dramatic, just right. Fast forward 2 weeks, we host our own little open studio event, cheap wine. String lights we found at a garage sale, Homemade cookies that look questionable but taste okay. Friends, regular customers, few strangers wander in. Her paintings on one wall, my design projects displayed digitally on another. Art and life, we call it. Stupid, pretentious, perfect. Olivia's running around, laughing, glowing, alive. I stand in the corner for a minute, watching her, thinking about the kid I was, scared of everything. The man I became, scared of losing her. Not anymore. End of the night. Everyone gone. Floor littered with crumpled napkins and empty cups. Olivia's cleaning up. Wearing my old hoodie, face flushed from wine and happiness. I pull out a small box from my jacket. Not velvet, not fancy. Just a little wooden one she once admired at a thrift shop. Inside, not a diamond. A tiny, simple silver ring, hand engraved with one word inside a home. Walk up to her, heart trying to punch its way out of my chest. You once said home isn't a place, I say. It's a person. You were right. Open the box, hold my breath. She stares for a long moment, like she's memorizing everything, then laughs through tears. Took you long enough, nerd. Throws her arms around me, kisses me so hard we nearly trip over the folding table. No grand audience, no social media announcement, no perfect Instagram photo. Just us, just the place we built, just the life we chose.